Another Dodge. Actually, I guess the Ram is no longer Dodge, it's just Ram on its own. Still Stellantis owned, I guess, these days. It's got the typical bubbles coming through there. We're not going to worry about that this round. We got the rocker cut off. We got all that cleaned up. The copper color is a weld-through primer. Back here we're going to cut some of this out, maybe up to where you see that little hole. And we're going to put a plate in there because the inner piece there was all gone. We still got to cut the corner off. We're almost there. And the bottom of the front doors, we've got a little bit of rust going on there and paint peeling. So that's all going to be sanded off, and we're going to hit that with some DOM 16, which is a rust converter. And once that dries for a few days, we'll give it a scuff, epoxy prime over it, body work it a little bit, you get the idea. So we might just paint from that line down both front doors. There's a little bit of rust on the inside of the doors, not very much. So this is my son-in-law's truck we're working on. So we're doing this on the cheap because he's a young lad and this truck's got pretty high mileage on it. But it works good. Mechanically, it's decent. So I'm going to get him to come and he can spin off the back side of the doors. And again, we'll tape it off and we'll put a nice bead of that black DOM 16 there. It'll convert the rust and seal it up. We'll put a couple coats on. And it should last him plenty of years. Long enough to run the truck out. Eventually, all these things do wear out in time. This is a daily driver. So, if you don't got a lot of money and you're looking for ways to save a little bit of money, here we've got a very fascinating red patch panel. Now, in the 2002 to 2008 Dodge trucks, Rock Auto used to sell a little piece that would come up about that high, and you could weld that onto the tail of your front fenders. And in that design, I believe the door came out farther, so they were real narrow. I probably have videos showing that if you go back to some of our 2005 Rumblebee videos about 2-3 years ago. But they're not available for this model, which is great. So what we did, I have a local junkyard here close by, 2 minutes from my house, and I know the guy really well. So he'll allow me to go in and cut little pieces off of whatever I need. So the first thing we did with this fender is we took it off. We looked at the back side. There's a big piece of fiberglass filled tape in here. And if they didn't seal them up really good at the factory, you'd see where they'd all bubble back over here. You get the odd little bubble here. They'd rot through because it would hold moisture. But if they were sealed on good, they're good. So it's a 50-50. So on this truck, I'll show you the back side when we take the fender off in a second. And you can see where we cut this corner out. And there's absolutely no rust behind this now. You got to make sure you cut it all out. And normally I just make these, but in this case, you can see a bit of red paint. That came off the same fender as that. Now, why didn't we change the whole fender? So these two pieces were cut off of a fender that had been hit and was all messed up in the top edge here. Truck had been flipped up and rolled over. But the corner was fine. This bracket's really crappy, so we got the bracket with it. And this had a little bit of surface rust at the bottom. We'll clean that up and that'll be fine. Now you can see a few screws in there. Now you could weld this. We're probably not going to do that. The reason we had to put a few screws in, you can see where we took one out and left it empty, is we had to be able to mount this on the truck. We got a little stick up here to keep our gap half decent. And look, we're not looking for perfect, but we want it close. This is slid inside, comes up about 1.5 inches. So what we did here is to set this and get our gap close to where we want it to be. Now keep in mind, this can move a little bit with adjustment. This actually sits like this. Right now it's just floating there. But we got it close enough we can bolt it onto the truck in all the positions and adjust it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the fender off, take all the screws out, and we're going to panel bond the back side, put our piece back in, and put all those screws back in. And when that dries, we can either grind all the screw heads off, or we can take them out and fill them. And honestly, we'll probably just grind them all off. The same with this. We got 3 from the back side. There was a loose spot right here, and you do want these panels tight, so we added a screw here. And the reason I didn't just make this corner in this case, if we were going to cut that anyway, it was easy to cut this off. And give me a second and I'll show you why. So anyone can make a little triangle piece with 2 folded edges. There is a little bit of curve. Now keep in mind, we lapped it. We're not doing a cut and butt. This isn't a restoration. It's not an old car with thick metal. It's this modern crap. These are pretty light. So that's getting glued in. And making this isn't too difficult either, but once you line these up and get your screws into where these line up with these pins and this bolt, being that this was in such good shape, it made sense to just cut that chunk of the fender out. And there's our bent little bracket. We've got one that's not as rusty that we're going to use there. But if you have a place where a guy will go, maybe he'll charge you 20 bucks to cut a couple chunks off or something like that. In my case, my guy usually with stuff like this, he's like, as long as it's not off a good fender, you can have it. He's usually pretty easy going that way. And normally I'd say, you know, spend the money on this fender. And if I was down in the US, I would have just bought a new set of fenders for this truck. Let me show you the one on the opposite side. It's got some surface rust there where the paint peeled off. And right here, it's not through. I don't know if I can catch light here, but there's no rust whatsoever on the inside. It's actually in really good shape, except for the little bracket. So I believe this one we can sandblast out. And we're going to repair that one right on the truck and blend it in, because the backside, like I say, is really, really good. This door's the same as the other side. And on this side, you can see wherever that was bad, we cut that out. And I've got a plate made. It's going to sit right against that, and it bends down so that we have all our layers. Any structure like that you take out, you want to put back. Now, if you just have a little hole at the back and you drill a hole, you can put a big rubber plug in it or leave it open so oil can go through. That's one thing, and I've seen videos with that, and that's fine. But when you've got, it's all thin across, just cut it out and replace it. It just makes more sense. And you can see our cab corner here is cut right out all the way around. Now we may not take the box off, which means we're probably going to come up to this, just under this body line. That gives us a place to body work it in. We'll go just below that. We have 1 inch where we can glue our corner to here, all the way to here, and then here we'll probably weld the bottom. But going around the back, we'll use a bit of panel bond. And then on the inside underneath, you can reach right in there and put all your plug welds in. So it's just going to be where we can't get this top little piece in here. We're going to put a little bit of that panel bond there. Now normally I'd say if you have a big budget and some time, do it right, take the box off. The box is nice, there's a bit of surface happening in there, but it's not all messed up. So that's where we're at. Now when I was at the junkyard, the opposite side of the truck was also all smashed. So here's the corner we cut. But like I say, we might not need this, but when I was at the wrecker, I didn't know, so we figured let's cut that off. There's no rust behind it. It's in really good shape. And if I don't use this on this truck, guaranteed, another one comes in, and at the very least, they need the corner. Here's our bracket, and like I say, a little bit of paint peeling more than anything, but it's in pretty good shape. We'll bend it back to the shape it's supposed to be. The rockers we're using are these guys. You can get these for a couple $100 off Amazon, $300 in Canada. Our welds at the bottom, I go with a slightly bigger hole with a punch tool. The top we go with a slightly smaller one. We're going to do panel bond on the back side of this. And what that'll do is glue it, but also seal it. So our panel will actually come right up to this edge. And usually what happens is we actually have to go along that edge and take about 1/4 of an inch off of it, just so that you don't have it sitting a little too high. And Some of the panel bonds you can weld as long as the glue's still wet. So once we set that on, we put a couple screws just to hold it in place. We're going to clean out the holes and weld them. So it's sealed, it's welded, there's glue in between the two. But I mean, I believe you should weld these. I know some guys are gluing them on these days, but if you read any instructions, depending on where you live and what the laws are, the bottom at the very least has to be welded in most places. And I like to weld the top because I'm old school and I like to weld everything. So do what you want. I'm not saying there's a wrong way. I'm just saying to pass a certification in Ontario, Canada, where we're stuck, you probably want that welded. You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing.